Cool. So I was saying, what does it really look like to live in that true simultaneity? I've learned so much from the academy and recognizing that which is already present. And then you learn so much about there is no lack, and you learn about just overwhelming your reality with what it is you want. And both sides are just amazing. But where I am now is like bringing both of those together. What does that look like on a daily basis? You talked a little bit about moving your awareness outside of you, which I've been practicing, and I'm starting to experience that. I'm experiencing expanding my awareness outside of my body. And it's like, where do you go from there? Like, what does that look like to really live in that true simultaneity?
Well, specifically, it will look different for everyone. Generally speaking, it will look like or feel like, sorry, now mine is a little loud. It will feel like, it's hard to explain because it's true simultaneity. So it's not really like this is what it looks like, because that's kind of, that's kind of the whole definition of true simultaneity. The meaning behind that is it's everything, nothing, and everything in between all at once. Okay. And there is no, basically what it means that there is no taboo in your consciousness. There's no taboos. There's no major blockages. There's nothing limiting you from going into the recognition or the intuition of the infinite one beyond consciousness, beyond creation, the infinite one creator itself, beyond experiencing, to being pristinely, lucidly aware of awareness itself, to feeling into the presence, energy that is sort of the substance of all of creation, to moving into a specific sort of soul thematic storyline that you're trying to decipher and bring into your life, to the action steps of following the breadcrumb trail of your excitement every moment that you can, to relationship experiences, dynamics, and fine-tuning your communication levels, to going all the way back to nothing ever happened, because all that there is the one infinite unity and nothing really matters. To like, I care profoundly about the society and I'm here to be of service, and what can I do to make a change? And I feel very passionate about that. I feel lit up by that. To going back to like having a fun time somewhere and, I don't know, booking a vacation for yourself and forgetting all about your purpose in physical life and just having fun with friends, having a good time. To coming back to your purpose and starting a company to like feel that desire. To going back to the one infinite creator or the restfulness of awareness and just enjoying the perfection of everything as it already is. It's that freedom of motion. It's that freedom of shape-shifting who you are, depending on what resonates the most in that moment. Sometimes it resonates to not be anyone, to not do anything. And sometimes it resonates to be on fire and to make things happen. So to give yourself the freedom to like enter the individual level without losing awareness of the fact that that's a choice you're making. It's a suit you're wearing in the moment. To going all the way back to just resting as awareness, or even beyond that, recognizing the infinite one. It's just that freedom of motion, and that's what the Trinfinity symbol symbolizes. It's an infinity sign, but with an additional pretzel twist to it, an additional third loop. But it's a continuous line of the three aspects of creation: the one infinite creator, awareness presence, or the substance of creation itself, and the individual, that is the free agent expression, the individual expression of that totality. And so we could see awareness, or the free agent itself, as sort of a bright little dot on this logo, that's able to travel freely between the infinite beyond consciousness, beyond experiences, to the state of I am presence energy. The I am, the presence of everything, to I am an individual with a specific story that is empowering itself. So awareness is the line itself that is freely, once it's freed up and it starts to naturally be absorbed in the state of true simultaneity, or the way of true simultaneity, it is then freely able to infinitely move throughout these three aspects of everythingness. So that can look like anything. That's the whole point, basically. And that's part of the exciting thing, because that will manifest itself so uniquely in everyone. But it's like the foundation for living a truly enlightened, empowered, fulfilling, and filled with learning life. It's not always fun, you know? Even at that level, it's not always necessarily pleasant. But that's okay, precisely because you now have this support of free simultaneity, of true simultaneity, of free will, where you have cleared yourself out of most of the fears that are blocking you from having that freedom of motion, that free range of motion. And so now, because you have that freedom, and because you have that profound knowledge of eternity and infinity, and the empowerment of the individual, and the indestructibility of your soul, and some knowledge of the fact that you're an overarching non-physical thematic being that is expressing itself in many different ways, that whole context, that whole deep, profound experiential understanding and insight allows you to fearlessly experience the unpleasantness that sometimes comes with being human. And that's okay. That's part of the journey. That will no longer distract you from the passion to create something beautiful. It will no longer distract you from the truth of knowing who you are. It will no longer distract you from doing what's in alignment or in integrity with that moment. Fear, unpleasant sensations are no longer defined in limiting ways. You no longer believe they can harm you. And so now you're freely able to suffer when that is relevant. Sometimes it's relevant to suffer. Sometimes it's relevant to suffer. Now, it's not relevant to perpetuate suffering past its expiration date, you know, but it's something that organically comes, and it sort of suddenly twists you in a certain way, and it spits you out in a new way. That's the benefit of suffering, you know. Yes. It must not feel pleasant for a caterpillar to turn into a butterfly. Some of it might be a little unpleasant, but that is worth it, you know. Is that some synchronous?
It is.
Cool.
I had an amazing experience concentrating on the journey of a caterpillar to a butterfly.
Nice.
And understanding that it's one consciousness.
Yes,
it's one consciousness moving through multiple universes of its life. And in every universe, it could be like, hey, I'm a lava, and this is my universe, and now I'm a caterpillar, and this is all it knows. And then going to the cocoon phase, and that was all it knew. And then coming out as a butterfly. And if you were to look at that from a non-time standpoint, just from a parallel reality standpoint, then you really can understand how you can see yourself the same way. Yeah. It's just one consciousness moving through the whole thing.
Beautiful, man.
Yeah. So
beautiful.
When you said that,
that's really good. Really good. Yeah. Does that answer your question?
It sure
does.
Does
that confirm your suspicion?
It does.
Nice.
Everything you just said is what I'm experiencing, so I'm not lost.
Exactly. Yeah, it feels like that.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Cool.
Appreciate it.